Welcome
Um,
to Shade and the
and
City. I'm your girl Treese.
it's nose.
And today, y'all, we're here to give you our recap of the family or fiance. I don't know why I want to keep calling it family over fiance, but that's not the title. It's family or fiance. Okay. So yeah, we appreciate y'all being here with us. Apparently, y'all like the fact that we're recapping the show. We appreciate the love and support on the video. So thank you guys. So of course we had to come back. And this one was good, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, so far so good. The last episode was a lot.
It
Was a
was.
lot
It was. Yeah.
for introduction, but this this I can do. This I can do. It was giving me more put a ring on it vibes. I could appreciate that. But yeah, y'all. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button for us.
And a subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into well, what is it? This couple is called Michael and Sonia. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
the name of the episode is "She Works Hard for the Money." She works hard for her money.
Oh, is that the name of the episode?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was just named after the people.
This one is
Who
called. Yeah, it's called "She Works Hard for Her Money."
who knew? All right, y'all, let's get into it and let's get shady. So let's meet Sonia and Michael, okay? They apparently met 3 years ago when he was getting off of work and he ran into her and apparently it was raining.
Well, did it not give you Love Jones vibes when he said
It
that?
did a little bit. It did.
Like, if this ain't giving Love Jones,
Well, it kind
oh,
of did, but you know what's so funny? You know what I thought about? It kind of gave me the vibe of, and only because it's one of my favorite movies, but you remember it made me think about Coming to America when he was chasing Lisa through the subway station after she found out that he was a prince and dad and his daddy had came to the house and she was running all through the streets and it was raining all hard and I don't know why it just made me think of that scene and he was running around with the umbrella chasing her trying to get her. You don't remember that?
um, so I don't
I mean,
know.
this clearly their meetup wasn't that dramatic. I'm just saying that's what
Well, no,
in my
and then
like,
and then
literally
knowing
that's what popped in my head.
and the fact he doesn't give King vibes, Coming to America is not the first thought that came to my head.
Okay, I'm just saying the scene when I pictured
I I guess.
it.
Oh, you know what? I saw in the rain outside. I thought of Love Jones. I was like, and I mean, never mind. I ain't gonna go in. I ain't gonna go in on Mr. Mikey.
I was gonna say, oh, I thought she was gonna be disrespectful to Mr. Tate, and I was gonna say
No, because he
we
doesn't.
do not do any Lorenz Tate slander
Regardless
around
of
here.
what his role was, okay, in the movie, he got a real job. Okay,
Right.
so no.
Even though he was struggling in the movie. But anyway,
Exactly.
so
That's what I said. Regardless, that's
but
look. This
yeah,
is why
y'all.
it was
So
giving Love Jones.
they ended up exchanging numbers and they've been inseparable since. Okay, so Sonia said that she's there to address their communication issues because she feels like she's holding things and it basically gets her to a point where she feels like she's gonna explode. Michael likes to, you know what, I ain't even gonna hold you, Sonia. You probably could have figured this out if you just would have went to therapy on your own, and you probably would have figured out everything you needed to know on your own without even having to do this with him. But I get it. I mean, it's good because y'all supposed to be getting married and
Well,
stuff.
no, because I do think there was a moment where they were in therapy together, and Tracy said something where it seemed like the light bulb went off for him.
Oh no, I
So I mean, yeah, she could have figured out on her own, but he was it was it look, it wasn't clicking for Michael, okay?
you think something went off because I didn't get that.
I do. I do. I mean, and I'm not saying that he, did a complete 180, but
Oh, okay.
But I do feel like it was like, oh, this could be, the detriment to my relationship, and I need to do something. Something.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
Well,
complete change, but something.
right. So Michael, apparently he is what we call an avoidant. Okay, he doesn't like confrontation. So they get to the mansion, and Sonia's talking about wanting to manifest this beautiful home for herself. And I noticed that he was kind of giving her the side eye, and
Yeah,
I
I
said,
was just about to say, did you notice that?
the girl can't have dreams.
Because he know he can't afford them.
And that's what's even more despicable. And I was talking about it today with one of our mutual friends, and I said, what's even crazier to me, and we'll get there, but when he's talking about how he doesn't want her to work as much, why? So she doesn't have as high as expectations because you can't do it? You're not gonna give it to her?
For me, it was all the I want this, I want that, I want to do this, but you're not showing that that's what you want. You're not making no moves to accomplish it. What killed me was the whole video game thing. It was like, why can't you do this? He's like, yeah, I could if I just stayed off the video game. What? What? This is the reason? This is the
And
reason
you
you
know
can't
what's so
accomplish what
crazy?
you need to
You know what's so
accomplish?
crazy to me? Was it We'll get there. We'll get there. So anyway, so basically they sit down with T McMillan, a good girl, Tracy. And they've been
I got
engaged.
it this time. I got Tracy this time.
You so funny. They've been well, we done already gave her a new name now. So they've been engaged for a little over a year, but they've been together for 3 years. I don't know how she's been dealing with this for 3 years.
He said it feel like 10 years.
The
Sir,
nerve.
all the money I've been paying that you ain't look, and it feel like 10 years to you.
Right. I'm
Sir.
hoping he just means it just feels real comfortable. I'm hoping that's
Well,
what.
it clearly do.
So he has moved into her home. He has a daughter and she has a son who lives with her. She talks about being bothered by the fact that he will find time to go out and play basketball with his friends while she has to sit home, care for her son, and basically maintain the household.
Have to
Um,
work some jobs.
yeah, and she works 3 jobs. So Tracy doesn't think that there's a communication issue. She actually said, "No, I think that you're communicating pretty well." In my eyes, Tracy was like, "No, you're communicating. He's just not hearing."
She basically said you're communicating, but neither one of y'all like what each other is saying.
Well, so um he's basically an HVAC
HVAC.
technician. Yeah, and he has his own small business on the side. Sonia is special services director. She owns a body spa, and it sounds like a bridal shop as well.
Mhm.
So Tracy can identify that Sonia is a bit of a workaholic. She admits that she is, but she wants to be able to rely on her man in the relationship, and basically she wants to be able to be soft, is what I got.
Mhm.
And so Michael says that he knows that she wants more, but he can't give her that right now. I ain't even gonna hold you. I think I was more irritated this episode by the fact that, I mean, I think it's sweet and I think it's great. Obviously, she loves him. She wants to work with him. But the fact that he's just like, can't really do anything for you right now. And she's like, well, if you do this and you pick up another contract and you do this, and granted, she clearly is business smart because she has several businesses.
Mhm.
And the fact that she was trying to map it out for him, I just felt like that's something, like you're falling into that, unfortunately, enabler role that we already have two women playing a part.
It really bothered, and I know you said you liked this episode, but I was really bothered. I felt triggered by this episode. I felt so triggered. I
I had a feeling you might.
I did. I felt super triggered by this episode
I was watching
because
this. I said, "Ooh, I know somebody who been through
yes,
something like this."
Chris, I did. I felt triggered. Now, and we both know why I felt triggered. It didn't
Right,
stop them from accomplishing what they wanted to accomplish, but
right.
it still like took over everything. So to hear that, yeah, I want to do these things and I want to accomplish all these things. And he's just like, but I can't do it. And I'm just waiting. I'm like, but why?
But
What's the
why?
holdup? Exactly. Why can't you do it? And then when he sat down and Jordan's asking him, getting in his butt about why he can't do it, and he's talking about maybe I should stop playing the video game 5 hours a day and play it 2.
For me, the fact that it
What?
wasn't for me, the fact that we can't take a hard stop and the game just needs to be put up in the closet somewhere. Because honestly, it was one of our mutual friends today said, "Look, if that was me, that video game would have been thrown up against somebody's wall. Like there would have been no video game. It would have been in the trash."
Especially if it's getting in the way of your life like this, where you know it's stopping you from potentially growing your business
Hmm.
and making money to actually be a partner. Like, what?
Because he's gonna have to go out and he wants to sit at home on a game. So basically Sonia says that she can see the potential in him. And I just feel like we all big and grown at this point in life that we know we don't do this off potential no more. But she wants him to see it in himself. And that's what I was talking about. Like I think it's dope that she can like try to help him and be a partner. I'm not saying she shouldn't. Um, but I also think that he lacks a little bit of ambition on his own. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe y'all will disagree, but I feel like a man who wants to care and provide it for his family is going to pick up and find a way to do it. And it's not just going to sit back and be like, well, I can't do that for you right now. So, but anyway, so Tracy tells her the bigger issue is her respecting a man and her family seeing that. So basically they can respect him. But her family also wants to see her to be able to relax a little bit. And they kind of feel like she's not being supported. So Sonia has invited her mama, her daddy, and her close friend Jordan. I liked Jordan, y'all. I'm gonna tell you right
I
now.
did too. From the very end till the very end.
Right.
I
Now
really
don't get me wrong. I thought Jordan came in hot and heavy in the beginning, but I see why. Michael has invited his mother, grandmother, and his daughter Janiyah. He admits that his relationship with his daughter isn't great. And I said, what is going on? This is becoming very repetitive, and it's sad to see these black fathers and they don't have any relationships with their daughter, especially since he apparently was.
But you know what? Also, I mean, I would think as a mother and as a
Mhm.
woman, he's already had this child before he met you, right? And it's a
Right,
girl. This is his daughter. If
right.
you see that he doesn't have the best relationship with his daughter, what I don't understand why that would make you even want to pursue him any further.
I think that, and maybe I'm wrong. I
And
think
that
that
goes for
maybe
both women, both
I think
episodes.
because the daughter is seems like she's a little bit older. So it's probably by if they've been together for 3 years, that girl was probably damn near out the house, if not like she seemed like she's like I'm guesstimating, I don't know, but I would guess she's between 18 and 20.
Well, no, she's not out the house because he said she doesn't come home as much anymore.
Oh,
Remember,
well,
he said she's in a new relationship and now she doesn't come home as much anymore. And she said that they both, him and the daughter, moved in with her.
where do you think they were staying before?
This, these are the questions. These are the
No,
Mama
no,
was
no. I'm just
going.
saying because when you say that, and I'm not saying that that's not true, and you have a valid point. In my mind, I just assume he was living with the grandmother or the mother, and because
And it
they
also
had
makes me
pretty much
question.
raised her, I just assumed that like he was going over there, and I didn't realize the little girl lived there. I knew she might have went over to visit, but I fully thought that she lived with the grandmother and mother or
No,
whatever.
she
That
said that they both moved in with her and her son.
oh,
Um, but it also makes me question how long they dated before moving in together.
one thing. Let me tell y'all from experience. Again, this is a story time. Y'all gonna have to pay for this. Y'all is gonna be behind the wall, but I give you a little snippet. Let me tell you a little secret. It ain't hard for a bum to latch on real quick. Okay. When they see you got something that they don't have, when they need a place to lay their head, oh, they will lace them. Okay. So I'm just saying,
But this is where she needed to use discernment.
I agree. I agree.
Just
Also, I forgot to tell y'all that Jania's mom passed away when she was 12.
mhm.
And so basically he ended up taking her in. So basically it seems like they didn't really have much of a relationship until she was 12 years old, is I'm assuming. And then she had to come live with him, which she obviously wasn't happy about because she only knows her mother, and she's from that part of New York that we don't even really consider New York.
Albany.
You
I
know
mean,
what
no,
I'm
no, no. I
saying?
mean, Albany. No, I mean, it's not the city, but I know of Albany. I didn't know. I don't know of a lot of other
Oh, but she
places.
don't know of Rochester.
No, I know of Rochester. I didn't know. I didn't know of like Elmira and like stuff like that. But no, Albany. Albany is, yeah. I know of Albany.
um, well, I know that's the capital. You ain't got no choice but to know it.
And
Anyway, um,
a lot of people from the city, if they stay in New York, they usually move up there.
so yeah, so basically he feels like he kind of failed at her as a father a little bit. Tracy reassures him that he can change things if he wants to, but he needs to be open and willing to do so. So she gives them their task. Sonia has to do the budget breakdown where she writes down the monthly budget and the amount that she wants Michael to contribute, or Mickey. And then she says that Mickey's family is going to be able to ask questions. Basically about Sonia and how their relation and how things are working in their relationship. And so basically he gets 20 questions. And he's supposed to kind of respond to all their concerns.
So her friend Jordan said that he doesn't feel like they're equally yoked. I'm gonna
I
mow his
loved when he said that. You know what? I really think that was the best way to sum up this episode.
Mhm,
They were not equally yoked.
mhm,
And
mhm.
she's trying to force a fucking square into a, what does it say, a round hole? That's exactly what she's trying to do right now.
He said that she's the breadwinner and they're really just not on the same level. While his grandmother feels that Sonia is overbearing.
Not even even
Grandma, you need to have several seats.
right.
Okay.
But you know what's so crazy though?
Mm,
Their ambition is not the same.
mm-mm,
Like if I was her, the fact that is a work, because I'm a worker bee. Nels can tell you, I've always been that way.
mhm.
I can That is unattractive to me, to come home and see somebody sitting on the couch or not willing to work as hard as I am, or it wouldn't work for me. So I don't even know how she's even like turned on, or how she can even tolerate it.
Not only that, you're not willing to go any type of extra mile. And then I'm working 3 jobs to come home to a dirty house, still have to cook. Like, sir, like, no. At this point, you're not even a roommate. You're not even a good.
And you know what? I wouldn't even hold you. I wouldn't even be mad at him if look, if you ain't gonna do nothing, at least with the money that you supposed to be contributing, you better pay somebody to come over here and clean up this house. My house better be clean when I come home. I know that. You better find $160 to $200 for somebody to come do that every week. Okay.
Hmm. So the family gets there, and they open up the floor and I'm sorry, Sonia and Mickey, they open up the floor for questions, comments, and concerns. Janaya said that they need to figure out why they keep on bumping heads so much, and she feels that all 3 of them really need to work on their relationship. His grandmother, I had her name, but see, Siri done turned her name into
Oh, I didn't get grandma.
Doris. Is it Doris?
It might be. Yeah, I think
You
it is.
know what? Literally, look, it says his grandmother, Dor, is
Oh,
damn Siri. Damn Siri. Okay. His grandmother Doris told him that he needs to manage his finances better. And his mother Kim wants him to communicate better with Sonia and to take care of her needs. I said, okay, Kim, okay. Now, her mother Patricia is concerned about them being able to blend their family, and Michael, supporting her in her career. Her father Bernard has never met him, which I was confused about. He kept on saying this is our first time meeting, and I'm like,
yeah. I think the mama said that too.
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand why.
Clearly, that I guess maybe they live somewhere else, or I don't know. They clearly
But the
never
mom,
met.
but the mom met him.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Daddy had other things to do that day.
Well, he said that he never met him, but he just wants him to be able to support Sonia in whatever she does. And Jordan wants to know his plans as far as building a partnership with Sonia. And he wants to know that this is what Sonia really wants, and she's not
She's
just
not
settling.
settling.
You better, Jordan. You better.
You see the way she looked at him like, you really gonna say that on national television? But I ain't even gonna hold you.
I love that even though like Jordan said some things, but like it was really coming from a genuine place. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she let him still she let him cook. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
Yeah.
like Jordan.
Right.
It wasn't like don't protect it wasn't like protect his feelings. It was like get it out. Cause you saw Mickey felt some type of way.
Oh yeah. But what
So
can he say when everything he said was truthful?
because it really is giving that she's settling. So
Absolutely.
during the test, Michael had to answer 20 questions from Sonia's family. The first question was, how do you feel about Sonia working so much? And he said he doesn't like it at all. If she didn't have to work a day in her life, then he wouldn't want her to. And Jordan said, okay, well, that's not who she is. So how do you feel about the fact that she wants to work so much?
And see,
And
my
Mike,
only thing when he said that was, so then what does that mean for you?
what do you mean?
Oh, I don't want to see her work as much. Well, somebody got to pay these bills.
Oh, you meant, what does that mean? Oh, you mean
Like,
Mike?
what does that mean for him? If you want her to stop working, so what does that mean for you? Because clearly somebody has to be able
That's
to.
why it was like, it was giving you talk a good game.
Right.
But
That's
um,
why that's why that whole light bulb moment, I ain't I
I
ain't buying what he's selling.
I did think that there was a little bit of a light bulb moment. I just don't think that he was still willing to completely change. I think it scared him, but then when they got, you know how it is. I think he got scared, and then when he went back home, ain't too much really changed.
I also think
It was
that
like
it's
I'm gonna do just enough to keep her here.
I think I don't know if they're planning on having a like a wedding, but I also think that that would be also unattractive to me when I realize that basically I'm gonna be paying for my wedding by myself. Like my if he can't help pay the household bills, how is he gonna help pay for a ceremony?
Oh, but he said he can. He said he can do more.
And this is no shade, but like when she was like, I just need you, I understand $1,000 is a lot. Like I'm not it I get it. I guess it's not a lot, but it's I just feel like with all the things that you can do nowadays, and again, I'm very much a worker bee. I am never too proud to go down and fill me out a Bath and Body Works application and sell me some good soaps and lotions. Okay. I would if I needed to. But there's just too many other things you can do from Lyft to DoorDash to Uber Eats to just be sitting around like ain't nothing I can do.
To make $1,000 in a month, extra
Right.
$1,000 a month.
That's why I'm like it's a lot, but it's not a lot.
Mm-hmm. But he said he could do that and more, girl. He said, I got this, boo. um, Hold on, where'd I leave off? So yeah, so Jordan said, um, basically that's what she likes to do. So how do you feel about her liking to work so much or wanting to work so much? So Michael said that he doesn't agree with it because he sees it wearing her down. And he plans to take the workload off of her by doing things physically and manly to help her out. Lifting up your your game controller? I don't
You know what it is?
what
He
are we
gives me the
talking about,
vibe,
son?
and I don't know because he might not even do that. But I think he's probably one of those guys that like, I'll take out the trash if you need me to like salt the driveway if it snows. I'll do that for you. Like I think maybe I'm wrong, and y'all weigh in the comments. But he gives me the vibe that like that's what he means by like all the manly things, right? But when it comes to like doing dishes or
But no, no,
vacuuming,
no. But when it comes to doing the manly things, like providing, you can't do that. But you can lift some shit though.
right? I'm just saying.
Okay.
I bet that wrist game is real strong. When you got to manage a controller,
Right.
or maybe he's like a computer gamer. Maybe he just sits in front of the screen all day and like. But either way, I'm sure the wrist game is strong. Flick of the wrist, flick of the wrist.
Child, when he said and do the manly things, I was like, please explain what the manly
Right.
things are, because it's not just lifting things. Okay. So the next question was, do you have a plan to increase your financial contribution to this partnership with Sonia?
Nope.
And he said he doesn't even know the last time he bought himself a brand new pair of sneakers. But did
When
you
I, can
answer
I
my
tell you when
question?
I was
You
so
answered the
disgusted?
question
I
now?
was so disgusted when he said that, because I said we over here talking about how you gonna help provide for your family,
And
and
you
the
talking
first
about buying
thing,
yourself what?
and you know what? No shade. The reason why you probably haven't bought a new pair of sneakers is because you probably spent it on a damn game, because they probably cost about the same amount.
She's got points here. So Jordan feels like his answers are too vague, and it shows that he hasn't thought about any of these situations before. So they ask him what he's going to do to get more.
You know what? Unfortunately,
This man said that he needs to get rid of his video games, and that's something that he'll have to work on.
I think that, and I'm really not trying to like read this man down, but he gives me the vibe that he's kind of like a user. Like that's just who he is. Like if you look at how he uses the shit out of his grandmother, which is not attractive for a grown man to be doing it. Like,
And she
and then
said cool with it.
right. And but that's part of the problem. And if he learned that, if that's who raised him and he learned that, it doesn't surprise me that he went and found a woman that's willing to do the same thing that his grandmother did. That's why I said he just gives me the vibe that he's a user, but his grandmother enabled him. I don't want to say she taught him, but she clearly never corrected him or made him be accountable or made him grow up. And so that's why he went and found someone that is kind of mothering him.
So Sonia listed the budget breakdown and what she wants to see for Mickey and how she believes he can do it. Now, she said her average total for the household alone is about $3,695 a month, while his is about $1,275.
When she said she was doing all that by herself and then said, I said, girl, ain't no way.
Then she said this is excluding his insurance because she don't know how much he pays for this. Uh-huh.
Well, we about to find out.
Right. So she said that man can give an additional $1,000 because she works 3 jobs. Then she starts to get emotional talking about it. She said that she wants to be able to step away from one of her jobs to be able to, come home, cook, clean, do the womanly things.
Okay. The woman.
Okay. And then, you know, to come home and see him playing his video game, like, of course, that upsets her. So his grandmother said that they've enabled him for so long that he doesn't know how to come out of it, and said that he's a mama's boy.
Well, what bothers me is that she can admit that. In the same breath, she can admit that, but she clearly has no plans on stop doing it.
No,
Stop it.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Then she admitted that she loaned him $7,000.
And that's
So
another thing. Where was that? Why? If
where
you
did
got
it go?
$7,000,
He said to pay his
why
bills.
didn't I see it any dent in our bills?
He said to pay the bills. That's because he spent all his money on his damn video game.
It gets expensive.
It is. It's expensive. It's an expensive habit.
You know,
So
you got to
then,
buy upgrades and add-ons and things. You know,
so Kim asked, "Well, how much of that did he pay back?"
you ain't getting
Little
nada.
from him.
Okay, not a dime.
Then,
And the sad part is she's not expecting it. She's not. She's not looking for it. And granted, they always say you shouldn't loan people money if you're looking to be, you know what I mean? However,
$7,000.
look, again, it's my job to play the other advocate. I'm just saying, even when I don't agree, I'm just saying.
The faucet is shut off.
I'm with
I
you.
don't get the first payment back. Okay. Then his mother admits that they both have been paying his insurance as well. And that makes so much sense as to why Sonia don't know how much it is.
And you know what's so crazy? I ain't even gonna hold you. At that moment, that would have been it for me. Because if that wasn't a smack in the face for her, and I always wonder how they're able to be so calm after the sessions and like learning things, and then they just go back and lay up in the room together and
Yeah.
film like everything is good. Please understand, if I went up on this show and this was my story, oh, y'all would have got some real must see TV. Now I don't know how much of it could have been aired. It would have been a lot of beep, 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 but y'all would have got some good TV from me. It wouldn't have been that lovey dovey. No, we ain't sweeping nothing under the rug after you clearly been playing in my face for the last 3 years. Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry, you're right. So they're making a family dinner. Michael brings up his task and what he and Sonia's family discuss. He thinks the solution is, instead of playing games for 5 hours, he'll do it for 2. And
This is so triggering. This is so triggering.
and his mother is just perplexed. That's what my words. She's just perplexed by this answer. Okay. So he tries to explain to his mom that it's his crutch, and or
No, his mom said
that's his crutch, basically, and that it needs to stop. So then
Mhm.
Sonia explains he could be using that time to make his business grow, to what he wants it to be, and reminds him that, basically, so while you sitting around playing video games, I'm the one making all the sacrifices because you don't want to. So her dad speaks up and talks about the sacrifices he made to grow his businesses. And so Sonia reminds him that he needs to want to do it. And that's what I keep saying. She keeps trying to like instill some type of ambition in him that I just don't think that he has.
Mhm.
Um so he feels as if he's doing a lot for one person. That's what took me out. He said he is doing a lot for one person. And then she's like, "Well, are you marrying yourself?" And I said, "Well, that's a very good question." And so his mom asked him what his feedback is, and he says he doesn't have any. And so basically, she calls him out for that, and tells him that basically that's the problem. And Michael says that basically he feels attacked, and this is what I'm talking about. So then later that night, Sonia asked him how he feels about his grandmother, saying she enables him. He said that he worries because his grandmother is his safety net and her blessing means a lot to him. And he says that if he can't get her blessing, then he might change his mind about the whole thing. And this is when, again, this would have turned into a totally different show.
So Jordan told Sonia that he feels like Michael has a lot that he has to deal with on his own, just himself, nothing to even do with her. Okay. And said, if he gets asked about his blessing again, the answer would be no.
Right.
So at the check-in with Tracy, Mikey said that he felt like he was being attacked because he feels like he's doing everything and everyone else just feels like it's not enough. Sonia gives Tracy the breakdown of what happened during the task and the conversation she had with his mother and grandmother, and she let her know that she wants Michael to contribute an additional $1,000. Michael says that he's capable of doing that and even more. He just needs to get up off his ass and stop playing these damn video games to get some clients. Okay. Um, Tracy said, her advice is only get married if you can be happy.
I love
If
when she said
nothing
this.
changes. Let me tell you something. When she said that, oh, Tracy out here giving a word.
Okay, yes, because I was
Giving
like,
a
I've
word.
heard that so many times.
And basically told her that's not the case for you right now. Okay. And Sonia agreed that she cannot accept Michael where he is right now. Now, to me, that's where the light bulb went off. Basically, him hearing that the way things are going right now and the person he is right now, she couldn't marry him. And I think even Tracy said something. Oh, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so
See,
um,
but couldn't marry him, but you're still gonna deal with like his foolishness. So now he's
well, no, so then Sonia agreed. Yeah, she can't accept Michael where he is right now. She started getting emotional and said that she really loves him, and she feels like she sees more in him than he sees in himself.
this is when I knew, after she had learned all this stuff and she was on, and I'm not saying I feel for her, you do love the man, but after him clearly not telling you the truth and keeping things from you and you learning all this information, I just feel like it's very clear in your face, like Tracy was telling her. And yet you're still trying to, I want him to see it in himself. And I'm like, yeah, but he must be throwing that thing. He must be throwing that thing in a,
What did you say about the bums?
he must be throwing that thing in a circle. Okay. Because ain't no way I'm gonna be up here crying after you. I done found out you didn't. Like I said, we wouldn't have made it to the therapy session the next day. So I don't even know how we even sitting here.
So Sonia said it's hard. She says she doesn't know what the right thing to do is. And Tracy told her the
Yes, she
grief
do.
Tracy told her the grief is that you would have to end it. And I think that also kind of like scared him a little bit
It
when
should.
but see, that's where I think the light bulb kind of went off. I mean, it wasn't bright. It wasn't a bright light bulb, but it was on. It
It it
turned
it
on.
it, it scared him a little. It put a little fear in
I
his
think
heart.
so. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what scared him a little bit. And then he started getting emotional, and he said that he knew that he didn't know that she felt this way, like to that extent. Okay, Tracy told him to start with his daughter because Sonia and his daughter both need the same thing, and basically that's for him to
Need
move
him to
in the
show up
adult
as
space. I said, yeah, you better tell him he need to grow the hell up.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, he's hearing Sonia say that, basically, he said, hearing Sonia say that she's not willing to marry him today hit him like a ton of bricks. And he immediately felt like he needs to do better because he's not about to lose his woman. Then Jordan came and sat down with Michael and, to find out how therapy went. And Michael told him, it was a lot. And he asked him for help because he said he don't want to lose his woman over this. And this is
Hmm.
where I felt like he was a little frightened, a little scared. He was a little startled. Okay. A little startled.
I mean, I would be too if the check gonna run. If my house ain't gonna be my house no more. If the
Listen,
luxuries, I can't sit and kick my feet up and play video games after work no more. I would be scared too. So then they bring Dr. Allie, which we seen her before. I can't remember on what show, but we seen Dr. Allie before. Where did we see Dr. Allie? I don't think it was Married at First Sight. I don't know, but we seen her on somebody's show before. I recognize her, okay? So
mm,
she's talking to Michael and Janiyah, which we know is his daughter. Janiyah is very shut down, is what my notes say. He explains the backstory of her mother passing away when she was 12. And then, like I talked about, her moving from Albany to be with him. And he does admit that, he received a lot of help from his mother and grandmother to help take care of her. And he admits he feels he hasn't been there as he should be, and his biggest regret was not getting her someone to talk to after losing her mom.
mhm.
And he believes that because of that, she's looking for love in a new relationship, um or looking for the love
And
that
feels like
basically
she's
he
getting
didn't give her.
and feels like she's getting it.
Right. So Janiyah admits that she's never had a strong bond with her dad. She admits that she says things because she's hurt. And she says that, she explains the story of what happened and how her mother had an asthma attack and she didn't know how to use the medication. Or
How
I almost broke. I was like, this is so
this
sad.
almost made me cry when she was explaining this.
Right. She didn't know how to use the medication or administer CPR, and she blames herself for her mother not being here. And so Dr. Ali explains that she has survivor's guilt, and explains that there was nothing that she could have done. So Janiyah admits that it feels good. He embraces her as she, breaks down. She gets emotional. And so, she admits that it does feel good to be supported by her father. And then he starts trying to offer up vacations and daddy-daughter dates, which
You can't even offer up an extra $1,000 a month. How you, sir? Shit. I love the fact she said, yeah, no, not
no,
that.
I just need you to talk to me like my dad.
Exactly.
And so Michael says he feels like a new dad and, feels like he has a new opportunity.
He went to the room to talk to Sonia while she was in bed, and he told her, um, basically, when he goes home, it's gonna be a whole new chapter, and she's gonna be with him in that chapter. He's gonna leave behind all the old habits and the video games and be more attentive and consistent. And he said that he's glad that they came, otherwise he wouldn't have known the things that was bothering her and having a breakthrough with Janaya. Sir, bye. So in the final session, Dr. Tracy let her know that the session here, what? What? No, he let Dr. Tracy know that the session went great with his daughter, and he never knew that she felt responsible for her mom passing. He promised her that when they got back home, they were going to work on talking some more. And for the first time in a long time, he said he held her while she was crying, and it felt good. He also said that he feels like Sonia is asking him to be the other half, to be her other half, and everything that she needs, and that's what he needs. And she told him that they need some concrete actions where there's a way to measure the progress. I said, you better.
Okay.
And suggested making some agreements, like around the video games. And he said that it can be fixed. He knows what he needs to do and he's going to do it. And now at the blessing ceremony, everybody basically gave their blessing except for Jordan. Um, he said if he gave his blessing, he would be giving it in hope. And he doesn't feel that, it's right for his friend to get married in hope. But if things continue to change and build, his blessing will definitely come. Now, afterwards, production called his ass out. Okay, they said there was cameras everywhere, and they saw his ass literally write down for his grandmother
What she
what to
needed to
say
say.
at the blessing ceremony. And he said, even though, I told her what to say, I feel like her blessing was genuine. And Sonia said, well, I don't. Okay. I don't
So
feel like
here's
it's
my thing.
here. And this goes back to her enabling.
Why she act like I don't understand? If I was grandma, that's a bill I should no longer have once this is your husband. So I would be happy
No,
to pass
no,
this bill.
she knows she's still gonna do it, whether they're
I just
married or
don't
not.
understand why she wouldn't approve. Like, does she not like her? Like, it was just weird because the whole time she played like she was on her side and you're right, and we do
I
enable
think the
him.
mom
And then
more
she
played.
turned around.
I think the mom was more on her side. I think Kim was more on her side. Doris, remember, she started off by saying she was overbearing. I don't really feel like, I think she was like playing friendly, but I don't think she really likes her like that.
Well, that's the vibe I got at the end. I was like, oh, so grandma kind of fake.
Well, Doris admitted that she was not going to give her blessing. Okay. Um, and she did it because that's what Mickey wanted. Now the update is Michael is still playing his video games, but has grown his business and no longer asks his grandmother for money. They started
So
individual
he
and
didn't change. He grew the business, but he's still playing the video game.
I guess now he making more money. Yeah. Maybe now he can pay somebody to clean the house, like you said. Look, he gonna lift his feet while they cleaning, while he playing a video game and they cleaning the house. So they started individual and couples therapy and pushed their wedding date to focus on growth. Michael is still struggling with his relationship with Janaya, and she ain't returning his phone calls.
I'm gonna say this with the utmost respect for Sonia, but you just prolonging an eviction, girl. Now, if you feel bad because you don't know if he ain't got nowhere to go, or I don't know, maybe, again, like I said, them bumps. Okay, but I don't know. It's got to
That's why
be.
he can't get his ass out the house and work, because he putting all that work to stay there.
He putting all of that work at home. I mean, he is tall.
Is he tall?
Yeah, because remember he said he used to play basketball. He's like six something.
That don't mean nothing.
But he's like six something. So that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, y'all, this was a very interesting episode. I did enjoy it. I just feel bad for poor Sonia because I feel like she's being taken advantage of by and she would like to live for her soft girl era, but she can't because she has a man that's too busy living his soft life. So yeah. But
Somebody,
yeah, what'd you say?
somebody got to do it.
Somebody gotta. So if you haven't already, y'all, please make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment
Make sure that you guys are subscribed.
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the Blue Sky, TikTok, IG, and Facebook. And yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week for whatever this series gives us, I'm anxious to see what's next. All right, y'all have a good one. Bye bye.